Caleb, please don't chase me. No.
The first like 5 seconds of backdoor is like, why do I always have to be so goddamn during my time at the mom?
Have you ever watched a video or interacted with content that was absurd, racist, offensive, and just a little bit uncanny? Well, it's likely that that was AI. Since nowadays people's lives are content and we have AI, we can make content with fake people and it will be monetizable, e.g. Little Michaela. Little Michaela was started by an AI multimedia company, so in layman's terms, shit from the butt. The world of Little Michaelas have grown significantly because, of course, the expansion of generative AI, but also with the expansion of OnlyFans. If you want to make a really sexy robot, people will want to fuck it. Which is kind of genius because the person isn't real, so it's infinite content for gooners. Gross men are likely gooners, but not all gooners are gross men. Rectangle, square type shit. And in an ethical sense, you know, you're not directly profiting off of somebody else's likeness because it's not somebody's direct face, it's an amalgamation of thousands and maybe millions of people's face to generate this person. So you could say that's ethical, but it's also not ethical in the sense that in making this generative AI do TikToks, you probably are destroying a rural black community in some place like Utah. Recently I came across this account called Gia Surfs. And initially when I was watching it, there was no red flags in my head. I was like, okay, it's a bit provocative. But things on the internet are provocative sometimes. Sex sells, and the internet is where sex happens. Though as I looked further and further into it, it was a bit too provocative, and it was just really, really creepy. It's basically this girl, it's an AI girl, which is what I found out, and it's just videos of her being in high school, even though was born in 2006, so she's 20, but all the videos are from her in high school and kind of are in the present tense, so indicates that she's still in high school. And like I said, it's just a lot of weird content, and a lot of it is garnered to really old men or cucks. Now, most people watching her content, like me, can recognize that this is AI. On some of the lower liked content where it's not as many views, people are like, this is obviously AI. But on all the big videos with a bunch of views and a bunch of likes, nobody notes that this is AI. So that means that a good portion of viral videos are probably AI, and we don't really notice it because when we're scrolling on Reels, when we're scrolling on TikTok, we just kind of scroll up. So this AI is becoming a part of our lives, the part of the content we consume in a slow, gradual way. This particular page is obviously making money off of the views from Instagram, but also having this almost AI sex bot do OnlyFans as well. Really, really, really fucking creepy, and it disgusts me that there are no laws against this, especially that it kind of is hinging on it in a very particular intentional way, that this girl is almost like jail bait or a child. On Instagram though, on my particular feed that I curated, I see it a lot less than on a site like Twitter. Elon Musk basically shit all over that app, so now most things are bots. There's a feature, and you know they're bots because it'll be an American, red-born, right-wing citizen, or a really sexed up girl, really hot sexed up girl from California, and all the accounts are originated in either India or Nigeria. So, and it's a little bit different on Twitter. It's a little bit more like political. The bots are saying really baiting shit and really controversial right-wing shit, obviously to get a rise, because now that Twitter has a direct monetary value, if you have a bunch of these accounts, blue accounts, saying really crazy shit, people are going to interact with them, people are going to comment on them, people are going to comment back because people are fucking angry. It's just so shitty because under every, like, if I read a funny tweet under every single funny tweet, any clever thing somebody says, any viral tweet, if that tweet itself is not made by a bot and also just another copy of another tweet, even if it's a copy of another tweet, there's like 20 to 50 blue accounts saying like the same unfunny shit over and over and over to get engagement and to make money. Of course, like, this has been a thing since forever. I could think of like the idea of bots, but this idea that bots are kind of trying to become us, or trying to become real people, in a sense that obviously I know that people are coding them or creating them in this way, but also it's just really creepy. But what scares me is the people that are flying under the radar. And when AI starts getting so good, how do we know who's a bot and how do we know who's not? How many people are we interacting with on social media that are just not real? Now, this is the model for the dead internet theory, and that was basically the entire intro to it. But the dead internet theory is the theory that the people that we're interacting with, a large portion of the people on the internet are not actually real, are set up by companies, governments, any organization to either make money or sway public opinion, like Zuckerberg. A good example of this is Zuckerberg. He went to a Congress hearing for this. On Facebook, there was a lot of right-wing information being spread by bots. Everybody knew about this, Zuckerberg knew about this, but the people on the apps, working class Americans, older people who do not know these are fake people and who are being taken advantage of, are repeating this misinformation. There's so many bots, I think people kind of lose sight of who's real and who's not, and that's the point. Zuckerberg knew this and he did nothing to stop it. Why? Because billionaires don't care who's president. But this sways public opinion greatly. There are a bunch of people on the internet saying this shit and people think it's true. The purpose of these accounts can be numerous and useful to different kinds of people and organizations, which leads me to believe that a lot of the internet is dead. Do I think there are actually crazy fucking people that say crazy fucking shit? Yes, and I follow them.
Once you do a threesome, you're a lesbian. There's no other way to put it. So know yourself as a lesbian if you've done a threesome. Know that you're a slut and don't get offended.
But I do think if a company wants to sell a product, it is easier to have this fake person telling a story on TikTok. And it's more probable that a person will listen to another person than to a company saying, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. So they go about it in a sneaky, disgusting way. Companies are exploiting us and they're destroying the culture of the internet, which used to be so fucking cool. There used to be different websites with different names, different forums we could go on to, and now it's just one big Google Facebook fest. And I think it's gross, and I don't want to interact with robots, and I want to interact with real people who are alive. I don't want to come on here to get some elaborate advertisement about some fucking financial group or some stupid product that I don't want to use that actually fucking sucks. I don't want to be swayed in my politics, and I don't want my grandma, my aunt, people who may not be educated in such politics being misinformed by 1,000 fucking bots because nobody cares to clear it. It's disgusting. The way that these things are being used is disgusting. I don't want to see some fake 16-year-old girl with an OnlyFans on Instagram, and it's being allowed. These companies are allowing it. Not only are they advertising it, but letting people, letting individuals have this much hold and do whatever the fuck they want because we're such a privatized country is destroying our country, and it's destroying what America was built off of, and actually the internet. The internet is something that I've loved since I was a kid. I loved it to a fault. I was on it too young, but the idea that I get to talk to so many different people from so many different places and learn things about culture, languages, food, it's fucking incredible. And I get to learn it from real people, not Mark Zuckerberg. The internet was created kind of like FUBU, for us, by us. It was coded by us to do this big, beautiful thing. AOL. The internet is like its own big community. and it creates this tiny neighborhood in it where we can talk with each other, collaborate with each other. The fact that it's being blurred by some fucking corporation that found a way to do prostitution with generative AI bots. Disgusting. Thank you for watching.
Look what stepped up in that bitch. Quickly put out the tag on the trick. Give me that grin in your bitch, I'm go. Emperor, go knock your way through the